Yo, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Film Chronicles, and in today's new video, I'm going to be going ahead and giving you guys a trailer reaction to The Matrix Resurrections, and I'm also going to be giving you kind of a trailer breakdown and my thoughts on where this franchise could be going with this next iteration of said Matrix. So, let's get right into that. Of course, before we do that, I gotta remind you guys to just smash that like button. Go ahead and leave a comment at the end of the video on what you guys think of this new Matrix film and where you think it could be going story-wise, and if you're excited about it or not. I mean, I know some people might have some reservations considering that the Matrix trilogy kind of capped off pretty neatly, but I mean, it's always cool to go back into it because we've had other supplemental materials such as Into the Matrix and The Animatrix, which are all canon. So yeah, like I said, smash that like button, leave a comment on the video, and then if you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and then turn on that notification bell so that way you guys never miss a new video. So with The Matrix 4, we obviously see Keanu Reeves coming back as Neo. How is he back and what is going on is something I will be getting into a little bit later, but we do see Neo back, we see Trinity back, Carrie-Anne Moss herself, we know that Jada Pinkett Smith is returning as Niobe, and then we also know that Agent Johnson is returning from Matrix Reloaded, played by Daniel Bernhardt. And then we have some newcomers, of course, to the cast, such as Neil Patrick Harris, Jonathan Groff, Jessica Henwick, and of course Yahya Abdul-Mateen as young Morpheus, or seemingly young Morpheus. I'll get into that again a little bit later. But we are now seeing the continuation from Matrix Revolutions. We do see some trailer shots where we see Neo still having his burnt eyes from the climax of Revolutions. So that's still going to be kind of the jumping off point. And then we do fast forward some years. I'm not sure how many years. I don't think they really confirmed the timeline, but if I'm wrong, you guys could correct me in the comments. But it is interesting to see an older version of Neo, whether that's a clone or the same Neo from Matrix Revolutions, just nursed back to health by the machines, because I mean, he is the one of the most perfect ones to come across in the simulation, so it makes sense for the machines to kind of keep him at bay and kind of keep him contained in a new simulation. That's kind of my thoughts on like what this new city is. It's very futuristic. There's not that greenish hue anymore. It's meant to kind of control Neo and suppress his powers from a certain point, so that way he doesn't necessarily remember these past events of the Matrix happening. But I mean, we do see shots in the trailer of the first Matrix plane in a SWAT raid, so that is pretty interesting to think about, because it could mean that Neo is aware of the Matrix, or there is some sort of like meta sort of connection going on where the first Matrix is something that happened and this is showing the awareness of that, but I'm not sure where they're going with that. I mean, that's still kind of something that's up in the air. And then there's also the question of how Trinity is back, considering that she was pretty much skewered in Matrix Revolutions. So it's interesting to see that she's back. I mean, there's a possible explanation that the machines also nursed her back to the health and kind of just didn't keep Neo aware of it until it was necessary. But that kind of can also be negated by the fact that there is a trailer shot where we do see Trinity kind of showing this digital code running down her face, so it's possible that she is also some sort of simulation or something like that. So I'm not sure where that could be going, but it is a big question, because I mean, it's a lot of possibilities, I guess, at this point, right? It's either a clone, it's a simulation, or it's actually Trinity herself, just in the same way that Neo is back, where the machines kept her for a certain reason. And then, of course, the even bigger question is there is a seemingly young Morpheus, played by, again, Yahya Abdul-Mateen. The dude's been playing some killer roles. I mean, Candyman, Black Manta, and, of course, some other ones from the years prior. But, I mean, this guy is going to be portraying a clearly Morpheus-like character, or someone possibly related to Morpheus in a sense, but I do think that it is Morpheus. Whether or not that's young Morpheus, I'm not sure. It could be Morpheus using a new avatar, essentially, because you got to remember that the Matrix itself is an entire simulation. So I mean, it's very possible that the Morpheus is kind of just hiding and using this new face to kind of keep the agents and the Sentinels off of him. But I mean, that's sort of my crackpot theory on it. It also could very well be the young Morpheus. a lot like a clone again, like I'm saying, because again, like the machines and the Sentinels are keeping a lot of these people controlled in these pods, and they're, you know, nursing them and keeping their DNA code so they could create these people at will almost, and they control it, and they create this simulation to keep them fooled that's real, and that's the reality, where it's actually the machines have taken over and are pretty much just using us for whatever they need necessary. And the reason why I say that it could be a descendant of Morpheus is because with Niobe coming back, Niobe and Morpheus were in relation, so it's possible that there was some sort of children made, and then you know, grandchildren, whatnot. We don't know what the timeline is with the Matrix 4. We only got this first trailer and kind of a small amount of information. I'm sure there's plenty of, you know, leaks and whatnot that could be creditable or not, but I'm enjoying a lot of the mystery and a lot of the questions that this trailer has brought, you know, upon the couple of watches that I've given it. Every time I watch it, I just think more and more about what could possibly be happening within this film. It's really cool to, you know all the little things if you really stop the trailer and kind of look at it, which actually brings me into my little next section. This is just little miscellaneous things that I've noticed. So like I said earlier, at one point we do see the Matrix playing in the background during a SWAT raid. It's also a cool thing to note that a lot of the characters within this trailer are using kind of crooked doors, sideways doors, mirrors and whatnot to get around. That was a pretty key feature of the Keymaker who appeared in Matrix Reloaded. So now it seems like that technology or that ability is more common and more, you know, general, because we do see agents and the Resistance using that. So that's a pretty cool thing to notice. And also, according to the cast list, the Merovingian is returning into the Matrix 4, so that's a pretty big deal. I wonder how he'll play a role. He was very antagonistic during the events of Reloaded and Revolutions. We also do see a lot of scenes that kind of mirror the first Matrix with the red and blue pill scene. We also see more dojo scenes. We also see another iteration of Trinity being crept up on by the police and then her kicking their ass basically. So that's going to be cool to see again, but I hope that doesn't just kind of fill out the whole movie. I wouldn't want it to be a rehash necessarily, and I'm cautiously optimistic just because I wouldn't want too many scenes mirroring the first Matrix. I think it would be kind of overkill. I want it to tell its own story and be a continuation of the first trilogy, so I want to see more of that. And I mean, I do think we're going to see that, but like I said, I'm just cautiously optimistic with this because, you know, we don't know how good it could be until we see more of it, or at least we actually see it in theaters, because like I do with all my other trailers, I kind of keep a one and done trailer, so I'm going to keep it at that. And there are definitely a lot more questions than answers here. A lot of my, you know, ramblings right now are just theories and things that could possibly be happening. So again, I'm curious to see what you guys think is going on. You know, if you're a fan of the Matrix franchise and if you're excited for the Matrix 4, I want to know where you think that this is going as far as the story and you know, the overall next couple of films, because I mean, there has to be more films that are planned if this film does good, which I think it really will, and I think it could be another solid entry. I think it could probably be better than Revolutions, if not better than Reloaded. So I, you know, do have high hopes, and again, I want to know what you guys think. So again, be sure to leave a comment below, and then of course smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and then turn on that notification bell. That's going to wrap up my trailer reaction and thoughts on where the Matrix 4 could be going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Laters.